Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our /malicious compliance. In today's episode, not allowed at the company party. Throw a bigger one and expense it. Restaurant owner demands that I lie to customers about the wait time. Guess I'll wake you up then. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Not allowed at the company party. Throw a bigger one and expense it. A few years ago I went to a very large week-long conference in Las Vegas. One of the evenings our company was throwing a massive party for our customers. These parties were known to be epic, and everyone there to work the booth looked forward to it every year. But at the last minute, the CEO, wanting to keep costs down, decided that engineers weren't allowed at the party because of the cost, despite the fact that we had been busting our butts for weeks for the show. Our VP protested, and was told just to take us all out for dinner, on the company's dime. So our VP took us all to a very expensive restaurant on the Strip and said, "Get anything you want. Let's max out my company card." Everyone got Wagyu steaks, expensive wine, OLD bourbon, and all of the desserts. The bill came out to around $15,000. At least 10x what allowing us in the party would have cost. Restaurant owner demands that I lie to customers about the wait time. Hi, I've been lurking on this sub for a while and forgot about this story I had. I worked at a Mexican restaurant as a hostess during COVID. Since it was the middle of COVID, we were at 50% capacity, meaning that every other table in the restaurant had to be empty. On the weekends, it got really busy. We usually had like a 30-minute or more wait time for a table, especially for parties of 5+ people. Customers didn't mind waiting and we often had a long line of people. We never had an empty table. So on a busy Friday, the owner comes in and is shifting through papers at the hostess stand, where I am. A customer calls and asks me how long the wait will be for a group of 6. I tell them, about 30 minutes. The owner hears this and gets super angry with me. He tells me I need to tell the first customers in line 5 minutes and basically add 5 minutes for every additional party that is waiting. I should never tell them 30 minutes because they won't want to wait. He tells me, if I need to, go above 50% capacity. And the owner tells me he is writing me up to the manager, who, of course, thought this was ridiculous. Cue malicious accomplice. The owner is still here, watching me talk to customers. We get really busy and have a giant line outside the door, going down the whole block. It's groups of 6+ people, which of course are harder to seat. I tell the first party 5 minutes, the second 10 minutes, etc. It was choice. All of the servers already had the max amount of tables they could have, 5 or 6, but I just keep sitting customers. The owner was watching me, after all. Soon enough, the servers are all overwhelmed, having like 8 tables each. The kitchen is super behind, so people are complaining. I had several customers wanting to talk to the owner to complain. Finally, all the tables were filled. I keep telling customers, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I had a ton of angry customers complaining about not being 6 feet away from others. They all said they were going to report the restaurant. Then the owner wanted to go against the COVID protocol and let people inside without masks and got angry with me for sitting a party outside. I then quit on the spot and said I'm going home. They didn't have a hostess for the rest of the night or for the weekend. I'm not sure what happened after that. Chaos, I'm sure. The last time I checked, they have 2.5 stars on Yelp and I like to read the bad reviews from time to time to entertain myself. Guess I'll wake you up then. I'm a night shift nurse at a very small hospital with only one doctor on staff, which means she works 10 to 14 HRS/day 5 days a week and then is on call all night during the week. We have a nurse practitioner who takes weekend call. Understandably, she doesn't like being called and woken up in the middle of night, and we generally don't call her unless there is an actual emergency. Anything non-emergent is usually texted to her, copied to day charge nurse, with patient room number and initials. For example, I recently had a patient, John Doe in room 108, bed 2, who became extremely paranoid at night and whose antipsychotic, med that treats paranoia, was scheduled for 9 p.m. I thus texted our doctor, 108 to 2JD refused all interventions after 8 p.m. Can we reschedule antipsychotic for 5 p.m? She replied in the affirmative after I'd left, and day charge nurse changed the timing since she was included on that text exchange. This system seemed to be working pretty well until our doctor added an order to every single patient. Nurses are not to withhold scheduled medication based on nursing judgment without contacting MD in person or by phone and receiving order first. Not sure what prompted this, but I suspect there is a story. Anyway, about a week later, I had a patient with an antihypertensive med that lowers blood pressure, ordered at midnight. I checked his blood pressure at 11 p.m. and it was low, so I figured I should hold his antihypertensive. At the same time, I had a coworker with a patient on the same antihypertensive also scheduled for midnight whose patient's blood pressure was significantly lower than my points. Here is where the malicious compliance comes in. I reminded coworker that he had to call the doctor for permission to withhold the antihypertensive. He did so and was given orders to hold it at about 11:15 p.m. I didn't mention my patient. We have a 2-hour window to give medications and my point had gotten his previous antihypertensive an hour late. This particular medication acts quickly but also stops working quickly, so I decided to wait until 12:45 to recheck his blood pressure in case it went up enough to give the med. It did not, so I called our doctor and charted her verbatim response on why I held the med. Are you crazy? Don't give it and stop calling me, click. My next shift, about 2 days later, was an admissions nurse role which involved ordering medications. I was told to add a hold for systolic blood pressure less than 105 comment to all antihypertensives. This is a new thing. Since then we've been able to get a bunch of as needed orders added on routinely to all admitted patients. This is good for everyone. Our MD gets more sleep, which makes her a better doctor because we aren't waking her up all the time for minor things. Our patients don't have to wait until morning for something that could have helped them earlier. And we have a clearer line on when MD wants to be called at night. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.